learning cybercrime for you at this level is not so much about about knowing what types of crime, yeah, because it is limitless. It is limitless. We have mentioned in the past, cybercrime is either um, what crime against the computer as a system, or crimes using the computer as a medium. So either way, we call this cybercrime. So for students at master's level, it is not so much we are looking at variety of laws dealing with cybercrime. Yeah, I want you to have a very clear fundamentals about this topic, not so much about the types of crime. We mentioned to you in the last week as example, for example, law against the computer system. It is various. You know, people did a lot of things against the computer system, and of course, the most classic example is the hacking. But hacking is not a legal term, yeah, for your information. It is an unauthorized access, unauthorized access, unauthorized intrusion, or whatever things to the same meaning, yeah, whatever term is being used. So that is only one type, and the fact that this unauthorized access itself may come from different ways, different methods. So we are not looking into that in particular, yeah. uh, but now, by now, you should have had this understanding. Number one, that cybercrime, okay, definition by definition, cybercrime is either a criminal activity where the computer is becoming either a medium or the target, yeah, medium or target, either way.
Sorry, Prof, we are no longer seeing your slide.
Not yet. Okay, not yet. Yes, I let you to see my face and first. So
Okay,
slide comes later. Yeah, this is just I'm connecting between what we have had in the past and today. So uh, also you must have a very clear understanding of how this cybercrime is so different in terms of characteristics, as well as um, the difficulties in dealing with it, you know, and also the actions or steps, yeah, that enforcement people will need to have. So I again would like to um, remind you about this article by Professor Susan Brenner from Harvard, which will give you a very basic understanding of how cybercrime is different. That's why um, my students should have this clear understanding that having had different characteristics, yeah, cybercrime should be approached rather differently. You know, you cannot wait until somebody reports about cybercrime taking place, only then hoping that police will do something about it. Perhaps by then it would be already too late. So cybercrime must be looked at uh, as a risk. So if it is considered as a risk, you know that you should take some measures, you should take some steps, yeah, in order to deal with that risk. This is what we call as the principles of risk management. So I just had a talk 2 days ago with my good friend, another IUM alumnus, who is now a data protection specialist based in London. Yeah, by name of Noriswadi. He's a Malaysian, but now he resides there. He was telling me that nowadays people are very concerned to consider subscribing for cyber risk insurance. Yeah, cyber risk insurance as a product. um, so why is that? Because people know that it is a matter of when, it is not a matter of whether or if, yeah, that people will get attacked by cyberspace. Yeah. I remember this CIA director used to say, yeah, one I forgot his name. You can check later. There are two types of companies in this world. Yeah. Uh, First type is that those companies who have already been hacked. Yeah, okay, meaning their system has already been subjected to hackers or unauthorized users or intruders. This is the first type. What about the second type? Yeah, the second type is those organizations, yeah, who do not know that they have been subjected to hacking. So the first type, basically those who already know. The second type, those who never know, who hadn't known, yeah, that they had been subject to some type of cyber threat or cyber attack. Yeah. So the message actually is that cyber threat and cyber attack is something, you know, will happen. That happens to you. The issue is the issue is as to time. Yeah, when does it happen? Is it going to be going to happen today or tomorrow or weeks to come? So we will not be spared by these cyber threats, cyber attacks. Yeah. Therefore, the best way to look to cybercrime is actually seeing it as a risk, yeah, as a risk. Knowing it as a risk, meaning you need to take several measures. It is your choice. Do you want to consider that risk and manage it, or you want to, divert that risk and get someone to manage it? If you do the second one, then you take the insurance. You take the cyber risk insurance. And in the past 1 year, my friend Norris in UK said that now people are more, I mean, there are more interest from people from business organizations to take cyber insurance, because in the past, when people don't really want to take it, they feel that they don't really need it. Yeah. Okay. So that is what we have had. Then we showed you the examples of Computer Crimes Act in Malaysia, and some offenses that we want to show you, which is unauthorized access, either with or without further offense, and then unauthorized modification in Section 5, and then wrongful communication of password in Section 6, and then also inchoate offenses such as attempt and abetment. Yeah. So those are the areas you can focus, as far as, I mean, for the purpose of the final assessment. Yeah. All right. So at this moment, I'm taking you further to how this cybercrime issue has been transformed. Yeah, transformed to the another issue, which is actually interrelated, but people used to see it and discuss it differently or separately. But to me, they are very much interrelated. You can get more explanation to this from the article that I sent you. The article commenting on the applicability of cybercrime convention to the issue of terrorism. Yeah. Okay. So here now I'm showing you the slide. Can you now see it?
Yes, Prof.
Thank you.
Yes, Prof.
Cyberterrorism, the nature, scope, and legal countermeasures. If you know that this, cyberterrorism comes with these two terms: cyberspace and terrorism, which means it's the terrorism that happens in the cyberspace. So, understanding cyberterrorism, then you will need to first understand what terrorism is. Yeah, terrorism is a very difficult word actually to say, based, from the writings, from the discourse that we have seen. It is not easy to talk about terrorism, and it is, for one reason, it is very much politicized. It is, you know shrouded with so many political issues, as well as military issues. Actually, what makes it complicated is political issues, because um, this terrorism, yeah, by nature, it is an act of terrorizing people. That's why the word is terror. Yeah, terrorizing, an act of making intimidation. Yeah. to people. All right. And for what purpose? Because it doesn't stop there. Yeah, intimidation uh, against people for the purpose of advocating, yeah, certain political or ideological agenda or any other, agenda. And there would normally be some agenda behind it. By way of this action, it is making people fear, because intimidation means making people feeling distress and fear and scared, and that is used as a medium to actually champion the propaganda of these terrorist activists, yeah, the terrorism activists or terrorists themselves. But what makes it somehow difficult for us is that politically it has been seen as different way, because um, to some people this is political rather than legal threat. It is as if somebody who wants to throw out a valid government. Actually, when you talk about throwing out valid government, actually there is already a specific uh, criminal or crime law for that, isn't it? We have under penal code specific law which is allocated or provided for people who are taking action in order to throw out a legitimate government. Of course, this is considered as crime. We have this treasons, yeah, and then some sedition and so on and so forth. This is it. But when it comes to terrorism, actually, it is something different. Terrorism making that fear among people. So this is about it. This is terrorism. I'm not going to go because this is very huge, and we want to set aside this political nature of it. But basically, this there has been methods. I mean, this is about methods, a variety of methods uh, used by these people in order to launch their agenda, either political, ideological, or anything else. You may want to say religious as well. Yeah, but of course we are not saying any religion actually behind any terrorism. Never. Yeah, we cannot say. Like for example, some radical Christians, for example, in in Ireland, somewhere in Europe, had been fighting against the Christian government in UK. I mean, we can't say it is the Christianity who backs up these terrorism activities in order for them to be, free from the government. This IRA, yeah, the IRA movement. People have been saying, of course, these are Christian people. So has anybody in the world said that this is a Christian terrorism? Never. And in fact, if you try to force this labeling, it just doesn't work. It is not right, isn't it? They are not doing it not because the religion actually makes them to do it. No. Even if they say this is for the religious purpose, you must know that it is their their interpretation. So the same thing as what happens with Islam being labeled as the religion which is related to extremism and terrorism by some people worldwide. So of course it is totally untrue. Yeah, it is not about Islam. It is not about the religion. Okay. So, but I'm not going further to that. This is about it. So I have to mention this because we are talking about terrorism. So people who will do to launch their agenda, political, religious, if they want to say it, or ideological, they use lots of a variety of ways in order to create fear among people so as they can launch their propaganda. They can get what their wishes are. Yeah. For example, exploding places, exploding buildings, kidnapping people, yeah, taking people on ransoms. Yeah, this, of course, the kidnapping itself is a crime. It is already a crime. But doing it for the purpose of creating or intimidating people or governments in order to subject themselves or to accommodate some ideological or political agenda, then it is a terrorism. Yeah, it is a terror, and it has been made as crimes, as part of crimes in many countries. Yeah, including Malaysia. You can find all the offenses of terrorism, terrorist. Sorry, offenses of terrorism offenses under the penal code. Yeah, in Malaysia. So in section 130, after 130 A, B, C, D, and so on. So that is about terrorism offense. Now, it so happens that these people who launch the terrorist activities, they are also uh, taking the benefit of the cyberspace to launch their criminal activities. So in this respect, it is just like those people who sell drugs and then they want to take the benefit of the cyberspace in their business of selling drugs. So in this respect, then we see, yes, these terrorists now had started to use computer technologies, cyberspace, social media in order to launch their terrorism activities. So this is one phase of cyber terrorism when the terrorists have started to use the internet. For example, okay, for example, someone who use the internet, the social media, in order to launch their propaganda. This is, of course, this is not an attack yet, but it is a preface to the terrorist activities, because simply uh, spreading or disseminating propaganda may not fall under terrorism activities. It must be um, accompanied by some force, actual force, or um, threatened force. Yeah, only then it becomes a offense of terrorism, because with that force people are able to scare others, to intimidate others. So this is about terrorism, which is using this social media. So you are using this propaganda as a preparation for terrorism activities. So as a matter of fact, the laws such as penal code in Malaysia and many other laws in other countries not only making it an offense for someone who attack using to launch terrorism activities, but also making it as an offense for someone who is doing terrorism propaganda as a preparation for terrorist activities. So these are also considered as an offense in many jurisdictions. And when you do that by using the social media, then that can be as considered as one type or one phase of cyber terrorism. Yeah, I'm also citing here from this Farnell and Warren, Computer Hacking and Cyberterrorism. He or they, the authors, define cyberterrorism as the use of cyberspace by terrorist groups, yeah, yeah, as an essential transition point, yeah, from traditional terrorism, because in the past they didn't use computer, and they just take the bomb and then send the bomb somewhere. Yeah, yeah, that time that depends on materialistic means, yeah, to the modern terrorism that relies more on sophisticated and invisible technologies. This is not really a definition to it, but behind, I mean, uh, the dimension of cyber terrorism. And what is the goal? The goal is to spread the fear and terror among the individuals in different countries, yeah, by attacking the main computer systems, which control the vital infrastructure in order to obstruct their works such as electricity transmission, networks, and nuclear power factories. This second element, this second notes from this writer, Bawadi, yeah, al-irhab al-internet, yeah, al-khalar al-kha, uh, this is already transliteration, yeah, al-irhab, yeah, terrorism in the internet. So it says that you use the computer in order to attack public infrastructures. This is also a cyber terrorism, but this is another phase of terrorism where the cyber infrastructure becomes the target of the attack. If you remember the two types of cybercrime, where computer becomes a medium and where computer becomes the target. So similarly, yeah, in cyber terrorism, yeah, the computer system is either becoming a medium, for example, by attacking, launching what the all this propaganda, as well as the attacks, verbal attacks, in order to create fears, which is considered as a preliminary attack to computer to terrorism, or or by uh, putting an attack or launching an attack on computer system, which is on which, yeah, public interest is hinging, or is concerned. Yeah, what is that public interest? Yeah, you mentioned any public facilities. Yeah, especially today, all these public facilities, such as transport facilities, such as communication facilities, yeah, they are all already connected. They are all connected. Yeah, shipping facilities, airspace, yeah, airspace facilities. So if anyone, you can imagine, managed to attack into this airspace system, and somehow compromise with the communication of the airspace, or giving wrong signals to planes, aeroplanes, then it can be very, very fatal. Yeah, I mean, it can be taken as a signal for the plane, for example, to go down or to go up or to land, preparing to land, and so on. So these all are very, very critical computer infrastructure. In other, they call it CII, critical information infrastructure. Yeah, or for example, medical. Now we are talking about medical hospitals. Yeah, and they are they are, of course, one. It is where the public interest is, and because so many people depend on this computer system of the hospital, especially if the hospital are already interconnected between one and another, it will make the protection more and more vital. Yeah. So any attack to this computer system, to the hospital, can be used by terrorists. Why? Because if the terrorist has this political agenda, for example, to force a government to resign, of to force a prime minister or presidents of certain countries to resign. So by attacking this public infrastructure, so this can be an attack or a threat to sorry, an offense of terrorism, which is taking computer as the target. Therefore, it is another phase of cyber terrorism. Yeah. Right. You can see the next slide. This is also a definition by Professor Lewis, 2002. The use of computer network tools to shut down critical national infrastructure such as energy, transportation, government operations, or to coerce or intimidate a government or civilian populations. So it is either directed towards the government or directed towards the people, yeah, civilians. Yeah. So this is also another definition, but of course it is more on the station where the computer becomes the target rather than the medium. So the characteristic of cyber terrorism is a new kind of modern war. It is cheap, yeah, not costly. It is easy, affordable, and ubiquitous transborder crime, as well as difficulty in proving the crime. That is what also we can get from that article by Susan Brenner. Okay, so you see, now in the past, cyber terrorism must be done by a group of very genius hackers. But maybe this time, what it takes is just one person. The terrorist group can hire or can outsource their work to one person, one university graduate, maybe who doesn't have a job yet. So please, yeah, hack some critical system. So that is how vulnerable our society is to this kind of offenses. Yeah. So this is what I mentioned to you. Two categories of cyber terrorism, where number one is a threat or act against computer or computer network that amounts to a terrorism act or terrorism offenses. Second, a threat or act of terrorism that uses or involves the computer or computer network in its plan, process, or even execution. Yeah. So this is the phases, two phases of computer. So for example, for the first category, an act against computer, when someone intrudes, yeah, a computer versus critical information infrastructure means uh, normally, for cyber terrorism, of course, the target will be the computer system, which is uh, made as part of the critical system. And they will not attack my computer, or they will not attack the company's computer if we are not critical infrastructure. Yeah. So only those that holds the critical infrastructure will normally be the target, yeah, of the computer attackers, yeah, terrorist attack. Yeah. Right. The types of the act, for example, attack to computer data, attack to computer system, and attack to digital communication. So I'm showing you here. Okay, so many incidents. Sorry, so many incidents. Yeah, worldwide. If you look at all these, you can pick any of your favorite. Yeah, in Canada, two large banks were hit with unidentified computer glitches causing massive trouble on customer accounts and online banking systems. Okay, so the question is this an ordinary crime, or it can be considered as cyber terrorism? So that depends. Yeah, that depends uh, on the effect. Yeah, if it doesn't, and remember, terrorism normally will be accompanied by some threats, which push or which uh, champion some ideological or political agenda. If there is nothing about it, then it will remain as a crime. But I'm showing you that this is also uh, potential. Yeah? It is potential because if a terrorist wishes to intimidate a government or public at large, so this is one of the good target for them to attack large banks. Yeah. Then you see, I'll pick. In Ukraine, left at the left side, number 3 from the top. Yeah, millions of Ukrainian suffered power cuts over Christmas 2015 due to a series of phishing cyber attacks on 3 local energy companies. Yeah, all what you see here, these are all attack to critical infrastructure. Yeah, whether or not they become a terrorism offense, you have to consider further. Yeah, whether it is used by terrorists in order to solicit to champion their political agenda. I think the one which is more obvious will be um right in the US, yeah, above Ukraine, the mishandling of highly secret diplomatic and military data and their leaking through the WikiLeaks caused a wave of global diplomatic tensions. This is also a critical infrastructure, yeah. Okay, what I can say, all this, yeah, for sure they are an attack to critical infrastructures, but they may be or maybe not a cyber terrorism. It depends on whether it is being used by people to launch their terrorist agenda. Okay. So talking about critical information infrastructure in Malaysia, yeah, there are 10 areas, yeah, considered as a critical information infrastructure. This is based on the NCSP, National Cybersecurity Policy 2006, yeah, adopted by Malaysia, in which they highlight 10 areas whose computer systems will have to be or will need to be protected as a critical infrastructure. National defense, banking and finance, info and communication, energy, transportation, water, health services, government, emergency services, and food and agriculture. So that means these are all critical infrastructure that requires, a bigger and more protection, yeah, so as to not to allow it to be the target of compute of threat and cyber terrorism attacks. Okay, that's this is example only. I'll leave it to you now. Okay, category 2, act with computers. This is what the terrorists had been doing, yeah, using the computers or computer system, including the internet, of course. Number one, psychological warfare. They launch psychological warfare, for example, sending, disseminating YouTube videos, yeah, videos on YouTube, telling the world about their agenda, about what they like, what they don't like, who they hate, who they want to kill. And these all can be, you know, psychological warfare, as well as publicity and propaganda. Yeah, the second one, it can be also for publicity and propaganda, because they want to be known. Yeah, they want to be known. That's why every time they had done the attack, then they will announce to the world that we are responsible, we are the one who caused this and this. That is how they want to use the internet in order to publicize themselves. Then data mining, yeah, they want to use the computers in order to collect data, yeah, for many other purpose in future. Of course, they want to plan, they want to do recruitment, yeah, like here. Fundraising also can be done. It can be one objective of the terrorist group, using the internet in order to raise funds. And recently there have been, a trend that these terrorist groups may be trying to use the blockchain based cryptocurrencies, yeah, in order to raise funds, yeah, because they don't have to meet people, they don't have to speak to people, all being done digitally and on the network. So people, whoever wishes to, the money that will be obtained will be transformed, yeah, into cryptocurrencies, yeah. That's how they do now. Then recruitment and mobilization. If you remember, there had been few cases in Malaysia where some Malaysian people were recruited, yeah, to join some terrorist groups. And how did they do it? They did it through social media, yeah, mentoring them and grooming, grooming them using Facebook, and then uh, text messaging, Telegram, uh, WhatsApp group, and all those, yeah, being used in order to recruit and to mobilize people. And then networking, they also do networking with it. Then sharing information, yeah, of course. And last but not least, planning and coordination. So these are among the things used by terrorist groups in order to launch their terrorist attack. Yeah. Okay, the countermeasures, I will deal with this later. Okay, this is what in Malaysia, what is the law? Okay, there are a few laws that we can use. Because there is this policy in 2006, it is not part of the law. Then we have Computer Crimes Act, Communications and Multimedia Act. But remember, this Computer Crimes Act and CMA, Yes, they deal with the cyber crimes rather than cyber terrorism, meaning it can be just an ordinary crime, but it depends if the person has this intention to further commit terrorism. Then at least you can start with the Computer Crimes Act, and if it is proven to be a terrorism offense, you can also always use the penal code. Yeah, now we have the penal code in order to get, I mean, the substantive law is there, and the penal code of the terrorism offenses. And then we have PDPA is especially to deal with the illegal sale of data that may be used by terrorist groups. Yeah. Then we have Evidence Act as well as SOSMA. I think you have heard these two. These are more on the evidentiary and procedural issues. So now I think Sundar would already know it. Any criminal serious crimes such as terrorist activities such as I think gangsterism, things like that. Yeah, they will use SOSMA. They will use SOSMA to deal with these criminals because that will give them more powers to deal with this type of criminals, so as to make a better, more efficient enforcement. Sundar, are you there?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah, can you share about SOSMA? What have the police experience by using SOSMA? What this SOSMA has been used for? In what situations?
In a situation where it is jeopardizing um, uh, the national security, and
Right.
these will come from the physical forms and from the scams. Now we having a problem to prove them in a court, so they're using SOSMA as one of the weapon.
What is the
To
difference when you use SOSMA? What is the difference?
It enables to us for investigate more deeper, Prof. It gives us more time to gather more informations, and it's a syndicated crime. So when it's a syndicated crime, there need to be done more financial investigations, money trail, then to identify these fellas from the preview of technologies wise. So
Mm-hmm.
SOSMA has been a good law for us to take action against them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas by using penal code, it only subject for 14 days, and we can't go further. It's give some like some kind of a disability for us to move more further for more
Yes.
uh, further investigation. So SOSMA has been a good tools, Prof.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you, Prof.
for confirming, especially from your experience and perspective. SOSMA stands for Security Offences Special Measures Act. Yeah. So it is used for those uh, typical security offenses. What are security offenses? Anything that threatens the security, among others, including the terrorism as well. Yeah, terrorism is also part of the security offenses. So as it is explained by our friend Sundar, SOSMA has given more powers, flexibility to investigators to actually take some more time and then do more investigation and put the best investigation for the purpose of litigation or prosecution. So that is why SOSMA has been very much relied upon, because in the past, you must remember, we have the ISA, yeah, Internal Security Act. Yeah? Internal Security Act also a kind of legislation that gives, a lot of flexibility to the investigators. Okay, but of course, it is considered as an important legal framework when it comes to dealing with cyber terrorism. AMLA is another one. AMLA actually is the old name. Now the name is already long. AMLA stands for Anti Money Laundering Act. Yeah, but the name is now already changed. You must take note. Okay. So let's look, for example, in the penal code. Yeah, what is terrorist act? Yeah, in section 130B. Yeah, clause 2 and clause 3. Yeah, it is terrorist act is when Okay, you have a lot of things here. Involves serious bodily injury to a person, endangers a person's life, causes a person to death, yeah, creates a serious risk to health or safety, involves serious damage to property, involves some disruptions to certain computer system. You see that one? That one is very much relevant to computer or cyber terrorism. Or involves releasing hazard into environment, like this virus lah. In the past, people in the beginning of COVID-19, some people have this theory that this is actually a biohazard, yeah, as part of the war. uh, well, there are still some people who keep saying that, but we don't judge by what is invisible, yeah. Then it may also involve the use of firearms, explosives, or other lethal devices. And then you must go next here, the right one. And the act is done, or the threat is made with the intention of advancing a political, religious, or ideological cause. This element must be there. So if there is no such element, then it becomes like a normal, ordinary crime. Meaning the computer hacking, it is like just a computer crime under the CCA 1997. But if it is done with this intention, with this intention to advance this cause, and also there is another element, and it is intended to intimidate the public or to influence or compel the governments of Malaysia, etc., etc. here, or other than Malaysia also. I mean, other countries. So, brothers and sisters, this is the full view of what terrorism is. Yeah. So, when it comes to cyber terrorism, you must also take all these intention parts and then link with that particular part that involves some disruption to certain computer system. Yeah, this can be used as part of the cyber terrorism meaning. Yeah, under the section 130B. Yeah, of the penal code. Right. So also in the same section, there are more provisions also that deal with the meaning of cyber terrorism. For example, yeah, it is the terrorist act which is designed or intended to disrupt or seriously interfere with any computer systems or the provision of any services directly related to communication infrastructure, banking or financial services, utilities, transportation, or other essential infrastructure. This is also part of the meaning of terrorism in the penal code. Yeah, it doesn't say cyber terrorism, but only terrorism. But from the way it is done, yeah, from the way it is done, you see it attacks the computer system. So it is cyber terrorism. Yeah, even though the penal code doesn't say the word cyber terrorism. Okay. Then in another provision under the same act, under the same section, terrorist act is designed or intended to disrupt or seriously interfere with the provision of essential emergency services such as police, civil defense, or medical services. Or it involves prejudice to national security or public safety, or any combination of above. But you must also plus here add to the intention part. It is the same thing. Yeah, it is done to advance a political, religious, or ideological cause, and it is intended to intimidate the public or to influence or compel the governments of Malaysia. Yeah, so only then this will become a terrorism offense. Okay, so the mens rea or the mental elements of terrorist act is this. As I mentioned to you earlier, it is the intention to advance a political, religious, or ideological cause, and the act or threat is intended to intimidate public or influence or compel the governments of Malaysia or government of any other states or any other government. Yeah, right. Now we have a few cases in the past 5 years, there had been many prosecutions against acts that amount to terrorism or terrorism-related offenses. Yeah. See, for example, Section 130C, Committing Terrorist Act. 130E, Recruiting Persons. Yeah, so if terrorist group recruit a person to be a terrorist member, it is already considered as an offense. So merely recruiting only, yeah, you have not really attacked anything, but you recruit people, and it can be proven that this recruitment is for the purpose of terrorism activities. It is already an offense. Yeah, providing training and instruction to terrorist groups, receiving training, also wrong, also an offense. Inciting, promoting, or soliciting property, yeah, directing activities of terrorist group. So if you simply you are the director, yeah, you direct here, direct there, direct there, you are not involved, but you are already committing an offense, yeah, of terrorism. Soliciting or giving support to terrorist groups. But remember, under the topic of cyber terrorism, we remember that all this act can be done by way of a computer system, yeah, either using blog, using internet, using social media, using mobile apps. This doesn't matter, but it is considered as cyber terrorism because you are using a computer system. So we have few cases actually, yeah. Malaysian cases, they were brought to the court here. For example, psychological warfare. Person that, yes.
I want to ask whether
Mhm.
this cybercrime need to prove both element, accessories, and ministerial too, like a normal crime.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, the offense I show you, it has both actus reus and mens rea. That's why the
Uh,
actus reus, for example, causing attack to system, I show you just now. And then what is the mens rea? I show you in the right side. Intended to what? Yeah. So every offense brought to court, you have to show the elements, right? And the elements will normally include, yeah, the actus reus and mens rea. It is a
Dr.
must.
Sonny, what about the mastermind, which only has the menstrual, but he is the mastermind? What is your
Now,
opinion?
if you are talking about mastermind, you are saying about someone abetting, is it? Abatement, isn't it?
Yes,
You
yes,
learn,
but the better.
remember the inquest offenses you learn under penal code. Abatement.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember.
Similar, like someone who is murdering somebody. Actually, the mastermind is not there. The mastermind is somewhere else, but he's the one who has the plan. He's the one who maybe give the money, or is the one who give you the instruction. So this person, we call it abatement. Yeah, abatement of the offense. He is not doing the physical offense itself. So this is without saying they are considered committing the act. This is a general rule under the penal code. Whoever is abetting a crime, he is part of the crime. He is also a perpetrator. Yeah, perpetrator. Yeah. So what is the punishment? The same. Yeah, the punishment is the same, even though he didn't go down. Yeah, is that clear?
Yes. So, doctor, the cybercrime it works. The nature of cybercrime is same as the normal crime. Is it?
In term of what?
In terms of proving,
Yes, yes,
actisias,
same,
menstrual, and
same.
whatsoever.
Any crime, you name it, money laundering, corruption, bribery, all require actus reus and mens rea. All,
Okay.
yeah, including this one. Of course, there are few exceptions where some crimes they do not really require clear mens rea, but I mean that is some exceptional issues. Even to some extent, I believe there must be some mens rea. But this one is very clear. Yeah, computer crimes, cyber terrorism, yeah, all require both um, actus reus and mens rea, the physical element and the mental element. What about those crimes under CCA, Computer Crimes Act 1997? Yeah, for example, the offense of hacking or unauthorized access. Okay, what is the actus reus? You need to go back to that law. You see, what is the actus reus? It is something about some. It is about somebody who managed to get access. How does he get the access? It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Through this way, that way, through wiretapping, through sending certain type of virus, it doesn't matter. As long as those things, by those things, he managed to get access, meaning he can get into, the system. That is good enough. That is the physical element. What about the mens rea? Mens rea in that case is that with knowledge, meaning you know that you are entering into the system without authority. That is in your knowledge, or you know that this is without authority, that you are not supposed to be there, but you enter into the system. That is the mental element. Yeah. So without saying, both the physical element or actus reus and mens rea, will be required. Okay.
Okay, doctor, very clear. Thank you very
Very,
much.
very clear. Alhamdulillah. So what I am showing you, some cases in Malaysia that people were prosecuted because they either they helped the terrorist group, or they joined terrorist group, or they launched propaganda in terrorist group, but for of terrorist group, and these are using the cyberspace medium. For example, in this case involving one person named Mustaza Abdul Rahman. Yeah, he was prosecuted in 2017. Yeah, he was part of military, lance corporal. He was sentenced to 12 years in jail. Why? Because he was found guilty of consciously supporting a terrorist act involving explosives, with an aim to promote an ideology that is intimidating to Malaysians. Yeah. How did he do it? He committed the offense through Telegram application, using in a group chat, and using his handphone. Okay. Then let's see another case, publicity and propaganda, Muhammad Nur Helmi, 2017. Yeah. So he also was using Telegram application. He expressed his wish to go to Paso, Indonesia to support and fight for the IS, Islamic State, before moving to Syria. I mean, this is considered, the Daesh, the ISIS, considered by the authority as a terrorist group. So anything related to them will be considered as supporting the terrorist activities. So this is already decided in court as well. This is a technician who pleaded guilty of promoting terrorist activities, by being part of being in the possession of items, using WeChat. Is it talking about this offense? According to the penal code, yeah, let's say if the police, Sundar, can comment on this.
Yes,
If the
bro.
police, found you, and then found you in your mobile phone, found the materials relating to terrorist attack, materials that is used by terrorist group, and it is found in your mobile phone, then you will be presumed to be part of the, or to actually to have committed the offense, simply because it is there with you by possession. Yeah. Do you know about this, Sundar?
Yes, Prof. It is something like you are having a material
Mhm.
for the intentions for knowing, and there's a suspicious. It creates a more suspicious. Why such a person's having a this such kind of information? What is his
Mhm.
motive actually? So and it will able the police to take action against him. And normally, Prof, it will link
Mhm.
other people's, because it was been shared among them with the
Right,
syndicate.
right.
That's
Yes.
why
So
people can take action against those who are having materials in their telephones or
yeah.
tablets or laptops.
Yes, thank you, Sundar.
Thank you.
If you read the relevant provision under the penal code, it is quite clear that the fact that you have it, yeah, you have it in your mobile phone is enough, yeah, for you to be prosecuted, to be actually prosecuted, to be allegedly, involved with this offense. That is how serious it is. You go to later on, I can share with you. It's somewhere in section 130J, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 130 ada A, B, C, D. There is 130J, if I'm not mistaken. The fact that you have in your mobile phone, for example, some manuals how to launch bomb, for example. Yeah, manuals how to uh, do a certain attack within certain circumstances, that if people read it, it can be assumed that it is part of the terrorist plan. So the fact that it is there in your mobile phone will be enough for the case to be brought, to so it is uh, a strict liability situation. Yeah. The problem is sometimes we receive that materials actually without wrongful intention. No, that is the problem, because we have been exchanging, we have been sending files, we have been communicating using WhatsApp, and we've been sending so many files, sharing with people. And you never know, sometimes those materials that you receive are actually identified as terrorist materials. So you better be careful not to allow this type of materials to remain in your mobile phone. You better delete them. Yeah. Sometimes people use the WhatsApp with automatic downloading, isn't it? Automatic downloading of the material. The moment you receive it, it is downloaded. So you better don't do that. Yeah, you don't automatically download the media in WhatsApp, for example, or otherwise it will be considered as in your possession. Yeah. So I just want to highlight that particular and interesting legal provision.
Brother,
Yes,
uh,
please.
what you said just now is, can we say that it is like a strict liability when we just have the information, we keep something like about terrorism?
Yeah, it is. It is. I can't say it is exactly a strict liability, because the fact that it is there, you are presumed to know. You are presumed to know that it is there. So if you say you don't know, then you have to disprove it, isn't it? Uh, you have
Yes,
to.
Prof.
It is not exactly a strict liability just because it is there. You are wrong. No, but you will be presumed to know.
So
Yes,
I like
Sundar.
to add a bit, Prof. In this case, Prof, burden of proof is on this accused person because he is
Mm-hmm.
the one who's having the material. He have to
Mm-hmm.
prove what is the intention of him doing that and having that. You
Having
know,
that in
other
possession.
people, as a normal human being, they don't have this material. But you, as a person,
Mm,
a very serious material within
mm,
your control, that means you have
mm.
to prove what your intention is. That's what.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Prof.
yes, thank you so much. That means it is not exactly a strict liability. You still can disprove it if you say that you don't know, it is not mine, or someone actually sent it into your computer with some other intention. So you have to prove it. That's the issue, is that the burden of proof is actually shifted to you rather than to the prosecutors. Yeah. So you see this one, this slide, interesting. This is about what I just said. Yeah. In this case, in 2017, yeah, Muhammad Firdaus Saibi, he was a cleaner who claimed to have kept images and videos related to the Daesh terrorist group on his handphone for personal viewing, yeah, during his free time. Okay, and but even by that, he was sentenced, yeah, to 3 years jail by High Court. Yeah, he was charged with the possession of 25 images and 43 video recordings on the Daesh terrorist group in his handphone in Johor. So back to the question by Farah. This person, yeah, he didn't say he doesn't know. He said he know. Yeah, he basically know about those materials in his mobile phone. But his argument is he was using it for personal viewing only, yeah, not as part of the terrorism activities. But yet it doesn't make him excused, from the offense, because as you will realize, the offense is about the possession. Yeah, possessing itself is an offense. So as long as you know you are possessing it, that can be an offense. Yeah. So you better be careful. Yeah. Even though you want to say it is for no, the issue actually this has been highlighted. Yeah. By some people who are doing research. Yeah, we need to have some materials. We need to have the materials in order to make it, to make an academic, assessment and so on. And for that purpose, we need to possess it. Yeah, that has been some issue. How do we go about it? Well, I think this goes down to how smart you need to be. Of course, people will not argue that you are a researcher, that you are a professor in university, and that you write about terrorism activities. But it is not very difficult to get rid of this thing. What you can do is you may want to put it in a repository of the university, for example, which is really acknowledge that this is for specific but limited use, of research. Maybe you want to deposit it at the library. Of course, library as a public place. Yeah, will have. Hold on, just 1 second. Sorry, yeah. The aircon service coming. Okay, so if you are really a researcher and you need to have that kind of materials, then you try, you know, try to do smart and not to allow those materials in your personal possession, or there's another way. After you deal with that, you are done with it, then you dispossess those things. Maybe you want to put in the library as a public institutions, because it can be there but with a very very strict access, for example. Or you may want to cooperate with law enforcement and get advice what to do. I think that is one of the best ways to do it. But we have to work with the law and saying that not to fall under this restriction. Yeah. Okay. Then there is an example: planning and coordination of terrorist act. Okay, somebody was also here charged because he was using WhatsApp. Yeah, using WhatsApp for planning and coordination. Okay, these are all examples. Done with that. So how to countermeasure? We have. Let me show you this one. Sorry. This one, countermeasures. Countermeasures. This is also important to digest. Yeah, technical countermeasures is there, and then community based countermeasures, and then legal and regulatory countermeasures. So you want to say you want to stop cyber terrorism, you don't have to, you must not rely only on police to deal with that, because otherwise it will be like too late. Community and society will have to play their role, isn't it, to create such a conducive community, which is not allowing this kind of wrongdoings, and then to flourish. Yeah. And you know that I actually used to have this conference on terrorism. We had this discussion. One of the panelists was our lecturer at that time, who became a politician and minister. Any guess? He was working. He was the panelist. I was panelist also, and this guy was panelist. Anyone can guess this lecturer? Not from law, from other faculty. That just
Bersatu.
happened. That just happened
Dr.
before
Mazli.
election, and after that he ran for election and became minister. Yes, you mentioned Dr. Mazli. Dr. Mazli actually had one of his specialty is terrorism research. Yeah, he actually managed to interview many people who were prosecuted under terrorism offense in Malaysia. So he was sharing with us many of these accused. They were actually they are vulnerable people. Yeah, they are vulnerable people. They joined this not because they really wanted it in the first place. Yeah, they were vulnerable. They were alone. They were weak. They were not guided. So these people are easily influenced. Yeah, easily influenced, and therefore ending up, joining these groups. So Dr. Mazri was sharing with us his experience and interviews with these people. So that is why there is a very important role to be played by the community, by society, whichever community it is, educational community, a social community, sports activities, and then civil societies, yeah, in whatsoever form. So we are all trying to make, this kind of vulnerable people to be guided and to be protected. Yeah. Therefore, we don't allow them to be the target of these terrorist groups. Technical measures, of course, needed for the purpose of investigation, counter, surveillance. Yeah, sometimes it's needed, but sometimes of the overuse of technical measures can clash with the freedom. Yeah, the issue of privacy, the issue of rights to move, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I'm showing you in this slide. You see, legal issues and challenges. Yeah? When you want to uphold, law against terrorism, including cyber terrorism, then sometimes we have this issue. For example, security versus freedom of speech. Which one we should uphold? Actually, both are very, very important. Both are very important. And in fact, for the purpose of security, sometimes we have to tolerate a certain freedom. Yeah. But sometimes there has been too much, on over reliance of this security reasons, to the extent of sacrificing the freedom of speech. This is also not correct. So we really need to look at the balance, the best way we can do. Then between security and privacy, you go to any premise, and then the security guards will stop you in airport. They will scan your body, full body, and some people are not feeling it and not convenient with that. They say, oh, this is privacy. Now, of course, both are very important. Security is important, privacy is important, but then how you find a way in order to get both. Yeah, for example, the body scan should be in a secluded area, or maybe reducing some inconvenience of people. Security versus privacy also may occur in the situation where sometimes the law enforcement, including police, they do surveillance. They do surveillance over people using CCTV, right? Using many things. Yeah, Sundar, our PDRM is relying on CCTV quite heavily. Yeah, what do you think?
Yes,
You
yes,
want to
Prof.
say about it?
Yes, Prof. That's why we are trying to engage with the local government to
Uh-huh.
install CCTV. And recently, the Penang government have came up with these face recognition CCTV, whereby we
Mm.
can recognize those who are wanted person,
Okay.
whereby we include all the data with the state government. So CCTV is giving a lot of benefit, Dato. Yes, sir.
Yes, but who is controlling the data processing? Is it the city council or the police?
Both, Prof. Actually, they are appointing, and they are the one who maintaining the what do you call the hardware and everything. But we
Okay.
are there and assessing the data and everything. So normally, the wanted person's data will be with us, and
Mhm.
we would link with the city councils. Um,
So,
Hardware done by the city council, but the software and data all it belongs to us.
so basically, I mean, the police is undergoing the monitoring themselves, or is it you
Yes, yes.
are waiting
We
until
we
the city
personal
council
there.
alerts you?
Yeah, we put up our personal there from the CID side, because we sometimes have the own our own database, Prof.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have, they call PFOS. PFOS is under the CID,
Mm-hmm.
so they're the one who now collecting all the data. And recently we have the DNA bank.
Mm.
So we are now moving forward for more technology wise, Prof.
Wow, wow, impressive. Is it already in the extent where if somebody's face is caught in the camera and then instantly the police can recognize that this is the person that they want?
At the moment, Penang have started, and they are moving and they are recognizing. And I can't reveal much about this, how much the percentage they have caught, the
Okay.
suspect have caught. Those who are like serious crime,
Mm-hmm.
I think they have done a few arrests like that, sir.
Oh,
But
because of this method,
can't
yeah.
reveal much. But it
Interesting,
is in a progress.
interesting. So
In
that
progress.
also includes all types of crimes, including
Yeah.
terrorism and all
Whatever.
those, isn't it?
Yes, whatever it is in our data bank, our database, whoever wanted person, because normally we would register under
Mm-hmm.
the what do you call it, the Criminal Registration Act. So we have all this data from those days. Now we are going to more digital wise to recognize these guys. Sometimes we
Okay.
can't arrest these fellows just like that, but
Mm.
maybe they shift to another state or district. So
Mm.
that's why now we are in a base of like gathering all the informations, and we are trying to facilitate with these local government, and the local government is maintaining the hardware, so software and everything
All
is
the
under the
data software with police, yeah.
police. Yes, 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 sir.
Okay, thank you for sharing. This is very interesting.
Yes, sir.
For at one side, this is very good for us. We to know that the police is keeping on increasing their capacity. Using the technology for preventing crime and also for investigation. But also on the second, on the other side, we really hope that it is also accompanied with more uh, order manner in terms of dealing with the data, because or otherwise it can be a problem in future if the data is mishandled, and then it may affect the freedom to some extent, isn't it? I mean,
Yes,
those are the risks, of
yes.
using the technology. There's always those risks. Okay, but thank you again for sharing that. And
Thank
we
you, sir.
see on the field, of course, it is not easy for us. We want these suspected criminals to be caught, but at the same time, we don't want to create the counter and or the opposite feeling among people that they are being unnecessarily surveilled by law enforcement, or otherwise it will be an outcry of their freedom, isn't it? Anyway, as far as the law is concerned, of course, the police has been working on the legal corridor as to what is empowered by them under the act. That is the most important thing.
Yes, bro.
Okay. Okay, that is how we see sometime in the process, and you want to countermeasure. There could be issues, but this is how we need to understand, and it is really expected from you guys. Understand this area, the contentious area. At one side we want to effectively enforce the law. On the other side, there is always an issue of backlash due to the uneasiness of people being under the constant surveillance. Yeah, because not everyone is happy with that. I mean, I personally would be happy if the criminals are being handled well and properly, but at the same time I will be worried if my movements is under the constant surveillance from time to time. I mean, this is the general feeling we will have. So it is not always straightforward. I mean, issues can happen, and you as a academic, yeah, uh, you need to look at all these concerns more objectively, yeah? And to see what is the best way to go ahead, to go further ahead. Yeah. Also, we have an issue between security and innovation. I think I mentioned to you last time the encryption of Apple. Yeah, they argue that this is an innovation that not to be misused, but the police really want to crack them and want to force, by way of court, want to force the Apple to, yeah, open the data. But then at the end, they manage to find their own way. So there will always be, this debate, and I hope you, as a student at master level, you understand this debate. Yeah, you understand this debate. Try to be able to appreciate from both sides. Yeah, because we need to know from both sides. So at the end we can get a more amicable decisions or solution for all. Right. That will be all on the cyber terrorism. It is a concept in progress. It may never reach a final shape as of now. It grows with the growth of the technology. And the countermeasures must involve multiple players, not a single player. The key is prevention and vigilance, not reactive measure. And regional and international legal measures are a must, not only depending on national laws. These are all the references. Okay, some works at the end. Okay. Anything, any question or any commentaries from others?
Assalamu alaikum, Prof. I have a
Yes,
question.
yes, please.
Prof, you said that burden of proof lies to the accused if information found to him. Just I want to ask that this rule is applicable to all kinds of cyber crimes, or only in case of information found to the accused?
Which one you are referring to again?
You said the burden of proof lies
The burden
to
of
the
proof.
accused. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. No, I was
yeah.
only
But
referring to that particular offense.
what kind of offense? Could you
The,
repeat, please?
the offense is the offense of having in possession materials related to terrorism. Having in possession. Yeah. So if you have something in
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
possession, the fact that it is with you, it will be presumed as if you use it for terrorism offenses. So if you want to argue differently, then you have to disprove it. Yeah, is that clear, Abdul Qadir?
Yeah, yeah, Prof. Terrorism against country or against individual?
As it is defined in many laws, especially the one that I refer to you, terrorism must have this intention to bring intimidation to people, but for the purpose of championing an political, ideological, or religious cause. It doesn't have to be against government. It doesn't have to be, but in many cases, it is against government, but it doesn't have to be against government. For example, some group, yeah, they are not happy with the way all the people behave and so on. So they said we must change the society. We must have new rules. We must have a new norms. And then by doing that, you kidnap people who do not agree with you. This is not this is not exactly against specific government, right? But you are creating fear and you are intimidating people for the purpose of your cause. That is also terrorism.
Okay, Prof. These rules of evidence has been laid down in any existing laws in Malaysia.
The what? The evidence?
I mean, these rules of evidence
Okay.
as to the cybercrime
Yes.
is available in any laws in Malaysia, like SOSMA or anything else.
You are saying whether you can access the law, is it?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
your question?
I just want to know, is there any codified laws
Yes,
relating
yes.
to this provision?
Oh, yes, yes. They are written laws. Look, I can show you. Actually, I give you the link for that. Can you see my blog now?
Yeah, Prof.
Okay. From my blog. No, actually, it's not here. You go to statutes. Okay, you go from my blog.
Yeah.
You go to statutes here, up here. Then under statutes,
Okay.
I give you links to some relevant laws. Yeah, so you can get from this statute. You see at the top, Computer Crimes Act. You can actually just download from here. Okay,
Yeah, Prof.
starting
Yeah.
from
Okay,
Computer
I'll do
Crimes
it.
Act. Then you see there is SOSMA here, Security Offences and Special Measures Act. Then all others lah,
Okay.
all others are there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I mentioned this, I
Okay.
think, in the beginning of semester, but now maybe at that time some people were not there. So you can always go back to this page in my blog under the statutes, yeah. So you can get all the links here.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah,
I
Prof. I also visit your site often, but I just want to know specifically the burden of proofs lies to the accused in relation to certain cyber crimes, and these rules is available in the Malaysian laws.
this particular rule, actually, the general rule is for for the prosecutor to prove,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right? But we
yeah,
have exceptional rules. Yeah, we have exceptions. Yeah, among the exceptions, I think we have the similar exception to the rule in drug, for example, possession of drugs. Yeah, if you possess the
yeah,
prohibited drugs at certain amount, then you will be assumed that it will be assumed or presumed that you are using it. Yeah, for trafficking, for example. If it is certain amount, it is for trafficking. If it is lesser, it is for your consumption. So this is a presumption put by the law in writing. So if that happens, meaning it will be applied against you. You are the one to disprove. Yeah, that is in drug.
yeah,
Then
Prof.
there is another one. I think possession of arms. Possession of arms is the same. Then possession of material, terrorism materials. Yeah. Then also, I think in terms of corruption, yeah, corruption offense, there is also similar approach. So not all, yeah, only in few laws. Yeah, there is another one I like to highlight, which is very suitable and relevant for this course under Evidence Act. Under Evidence Act, yeah, the section 114A. I think you can jot down because I have it somewhere in other slide.
Yeah,
But you can note down
yeah, yeah, Prof.
section 114A. This is for everyone, yeah,
Oh,
also. Section 114A of the Evidence Act, it says that if if there is an online publication which is against law, against law means what? For example, it is pornography,
illegal.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it is like porn, like fake news, it's like defamation, okay? It is like child abuse, or it is like copyright infringement. Okay, so all this, if there is this kind of online publication and they are published under your name, for example, they are published in your blog, of course it is the blog, my blog. If there is this kind of in materials, or it may be published in my social media, in my page, okay, using my name, uh, then, or in any other platform,
yeah,
if there is this kind of publication, then again there is a presumption that it was published by me. Yeah, even though it may be published by others. Yeah, for example,
Yeah, yeah.
I have a portal. For example, I have a web portal where I can write, and I also allow people to write, to upload. So whatever is published in my web portal, because it is under my control, yeah. Abdul Kadir, you can mute first. Okay, thank you. So as long as it is in my web portal, even though it is published by other people, so Section 114A will make a presumption that actually I am the one, or it is published by me. I'm the one who published that, whether it is on my blog, on my web portal, on my social media page. So this is another important rule, and thanks to you for asking or for taking this question. Yeah, it is also important for offensive
Okay, thank you,
content.
Prof.
Yeah,
Thank you.
as well as computer crime. If it is found to be published on your blog, on your social media under your name, then you are presumed as the publisher. So what to do then? For example, I found somebody putting up a comments, putting up an article on my social media, on my blog. Then, according to that section 114A, I must make a very quick response. You know, if it is not from me, then I should be able to take it down. To take down. Uh, what's this? All right, he was disconnected, I think. So I need to take it down. Yeah. So if I don't do that, yeah, in the proper time, then it may be interpreted against me. Yeah. Why? Because it is under my control. Yeah. So if what if I say no, actually somebody was hacking, somebody was intruding into my social media using my password and entered into the social media as if he was myself, and then write something, write something bad, criminal or illegal. Then if you say like that, you are the one to prove that. You are the one to disprove that it was not you. Yeah, you are the one to say or to prove that it was someone else and it was not you. If you don't do it enough, that will be interpreted against you. Okay, so I want you
Right.
all to take this very specific attention to this particular section 114A, because it is very very important, very relevant also for our class.
Bro.
Yes.
Bro. Actually, also they can improve it by the IP, where like the post is done. I think this police will know about it, right?
Police,
Like let's
they have,
say,
yeah, they have way to verify the IP address and so on. But actually the problem is sometimes uh without this section 114A, it will be difficult to actually get to the real culprit. So this is like, I would say, a shortcut, because that's why some people do not agree with this section 114A. But it is a shortcut. At least the person who has the control over that platform should take a very swift measures, should take a very quick measures to take down the materials, so it will not spread to the internet, or otherwise, it will be too late. Yeah. So that is it, I think. Yeah, but I agree
Prof,
with you that police has a way to go and investigate using the computer forensic skills and all that. Yeah. Yes, Sundar, please.
Prof, I would like to add a bit, and I think you are putting the things right, proper, but just a bit. When
Sure, sure.
presumption, we are putting presumption on the accused. That's the reason. There's a lot of common law cases have been suggested. One of the
Mm-hmm.
things that Prof mentioned about the drug cases, there whereby there's one case law says that a double presumptions is something like it's against the accused. We're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
That's why another case law says that, okay, look at this way. Drugs is very much dangerous. So we must give these, what do you call, a burden of proof to the accused. Let the accused, what do you call, bring up with the evidence saying that he is not in the guilty position. Why? It is a, what do you call, public benefit. It's for because of the public issue. So in
Mm-hmm.
these criminal terrorism involving, we are bringing the case to the court whereby the accused must be proving that he is innocent and the material that he's having is not subject for terrorism. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why
Mm-hmm.
we are putting up these presumptions on them because
Yeah.
the seriousness of the crime.
Yes.
That's why,
Yes.
Prof. Thank you,
Thank
Prof.
you. Thank you. It's beautiful. You actually strengthen what I was trying to say. That is due to the seriousness, yeah, of the offense. Yeah, that's why the things that I mentioned to you are all serious offenses: drug offense, firearm offense, terrorism offense. And somehow this online publication, yeah, could be proven to be serious because a lot of things can be said, can be put by people which might as well be harmful to people. That's why this section 114A was put up in order to help society as well as to facilitate the enforcement as well. If it is found with you, then you are the one to explain. If it is published in your blog, if it is published in your portal, in your web, then you are the one to make sure to really convince that it was not published by you. But if you don't do anything, so it can be interpreted against you. Yeah, that is what section 114A was saying. So I hope you can later on. Let me see. I think in my blog also it is there. Yeah, it is there. Evidence Act. No, unfortunately, it's not there. Yeah. Not over, not here either. Okay, it's okay. You can always find in the AG Chambers website. Yeah, or you just search section 114A Evidence Act Malaysia. Then you will see lots of references as well as debates. Yeah, because some people are not happy with that because it will put the burden to the internet users of Malaysia. Okay, of course, pros and cons are always there. I want you to read it and to appreciate, yeah, all the debates, yeah, from both sides. So if you are asked, I mean, one way or another, or you are to discuss, then you can give a good discussion. Yeah. All right. So uh, I uh, I think we are done for the cybercrime, cyberterrorism. Look, I'm going to give you a materials on e-commerce. Yeah, I have two materials. One is PowerPoint slides. The other is YouTube video. It is already on my YouTube actually. So please read on your own. Should you have any question, you can get back to me either outside the class or in the class next week, inshallah. So I can foresee next week will be our last class. Yeah, we will cover. Actually, I want you to read or to do your own reading on e-commerce law, including consumer protection. Yeah, e-commerce and consumer protection. Actually, it is one thing. Yeah, e-commerce law and consumer protection in e-commerce. I'm going to give you the materials. You can read on your own, and when we get back next week, we will I will invite any questions, and also we will just touch lightly on the issue of copyright. It will be very light, yeah. So that you cover it enough for the purpose of knowledge. Yeah, that will happen next week, inshallah, and that will be all, I think. And we will plan the 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 presentation. Oh, by the way, are you familiar to record your own presentation? Will you be able to do that? This
For me, yes, bro.
Prof,
this is
can.
just,
Yes,
yes,
bro.
exactly like what I did for you and put you on YouTube. And Sundar was also recording his own presentation in the past. So
Thank you.
let us do this. The presentation you record it and then you share it with me. Then I will get back to you should we require any, physical uh, interface, online discussion. But the presentation that you are asked to do, you just do it on your own and record it. Yeah. The presentation about your papers. So I just make it simple, or otherwise, sometimes I ask you to present about other things. But this one, you just present about what you are doing, what the background, the objective, how you do about it, and what kind of expected findings, your analysis. Yeah, not more than maybe 15 minutes, not more than 15 minutes. Yeah, between make it precise, compact. Yeah, between 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, just do your presentation, record it on your own. You may want to use Google Meet, you may want to use Zoom or any other platform. Yeah, and then you send it to me. How you send? Either you send the whole file. If it is too big, you put in your own drive, and then you give me the link to the drive. Yeah, or if you have your own YouTube, you send me the link to the YouTube video, like what I did for you. Yeah, don't send me through social media, because we don't use that. We might not be using. I'm not using that. So either you send me directly the link, or you put in your drive and you give me the link, or you post it on your YouTube. You give me the link to that video. So we don't really have to sit together and hear everyone's presenting their presentation. Is that clear to you?
Prof,
Clear, Prof.
just want to know,
Okay, Abdul Qadir.
Yes, Prof.
what is the deadline for submission of our assignment, please?
The deadline for which assignment? The paper. If you're talking about the paper, it is
Yeah,
after
Prof.
the
Yeah,
exam.
paper.
Okay. The exam is when? 10 or 11, someone mentioned. Yeah, I haven't checked myself actually.
11th of
11.
January.
So
11 Prof.
1 week after 11 is 18. So I hope you submit to me by 18 January the paper. Okay. However, the presentation, it should be before the exam. Yeah. Because I want to compile the result before it, so I will only have the paper later on, the last. That means if it is 11, let me check my calendar. For the presentation, it should not be too long. Now it's 23rd, so let's aim for 4th of January. Yeah, you have like more than 1 week. Yeah, 1 week or so. Yeah, so it is in a power. You don't have to send me the PowerPoint. Okay, you have your own PowerPoint. um, Enough pages to show me what you are doing, and where is it you go, and try to make it content rich. Content rich means I will be happy to know that you are referring to many references. I will be happy to know that. And then how you analyze, and then basically, yeah, the methodology, how you do about it. Yeah, so it should be content rich. Maybe it is just 10 minutes presentation, but we know where you go, and what the flow of your research, as well as the literatures that you are having, and then maybe the final analysis of the topic itself. I think everyone has got the topic, right? Yeah, I believe everyone has
Prof,
got the topic.
Prof,
Yeah, Prof. Yeah, Prof.
Yes, Arif.
So,
Prof,
Prof,
I have a
Arif,
topic,
Arif.
e-commerce taxation in Indonesia.
Okay, okay. Just go ahead. It is okay. Approved. Yeah. What is
Okay,
it?
Prof, thank you.
Abdul Qadir?
Prof, I wanted to ask that how many hours we'll get for final exam, duration of final exam.
Final exam will be 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. Yeah. I will talk more about final exam, like what the content is. If you can wait until next week, inshallah. Yeah. But
Inshallah. Okay,
since
thank
you
you,
are
Prof.
asking, it will be 3 hours. But you only attempt two questions. Okay. You only attempt two questions in 3 hours. But it is open book. basically there is no issue for you to get a reference. But since it has been, I mean, it has been designated in such a way that it is not simply copying and then transferring the things. Yeah. So I will talk more about it, inshallah. Yeah. So can
Okay,
we?
thank you, Prof. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. So let us stop now here. So I will leave to you the remaining hours for your own reading, either this evening or you want to differ in other ways. This is what we call as an independent reading. Yeah. For you to catch up. So I will send you some materials, yeah, on the relevant topic. That will be all for now. Thank you. Let us recite Alhamdulillah. Yeah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Alhamdulillah,
thank you,
ya
everyone.
Rabbil
Assalamualaikum.
Alamin.
Thank you, Prof.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you,
Sonny,
everyone.
Assalamualaikum.
Right. Wassalamu warahmatullahi. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Thank you, Prof. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you.
Have a nice rest, Prof.
Yeah, thank you, Imran. You too. Thank you.